Growing up, I used to spend my Saturday mornings watching One Saturday Morning, Pepper Ann, and various other cartoons. When do you think is the best time of day for you to watch tons of TV, Wayne?
Thank you, MJ, as I come up here to defenestrate your position here as tabletop mix master. Everyone could use that, right? I think everyone should use that. The best time for me to watch, was the question the best time for me to watch TV? I actually don't watch too much TV. I used to watch TV a lot, but I tried to cut that down because I felt unproductive. Not that I'm really productive at all anyways, but it just took up a lot of time. So what I do now is I DVR everything and then I'll just watch it here and there. So I don't have a set time, but like you, maybe Saturday morning cartoons when I was younger or last year. I used to watch, that's probably the best time to watch cartoons because that's when all the good cartoons are on, or usually that's when the good cartoons are on. I haven't really watched the new cartoons, but back then, those were the good cartoons. So, yeah, that's it.
Whether it was when you were growing up or yesterday, what is your favorite cartoon and why, James?
Favorite cartoon would have to be Dexter's Laboratory. And that's a classic. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially a boy genius who has a not so smart sister. And he has a laboratory in the bottom of his house. And he spends most of his time below level working on different mischievous inventions. And my favorite episode of Dexter Laboratory was when he went to sleep listening to a French record player, trying to learn French, but it was skipping, and all it said was omelette du fromage. And when he woke up, all he said was omelette du fromage. And actually, that's the only word I know in French, besides French fries. I don't know, it kind of has a sentimental feeling when I think of Dexter Laboratory and cheese omelets.
All right.
That's it.
I actually remember that episode. It came on right after Powerpuff Girls. Okay. Lately there have been a lot of animated movies turned live action. Cinderella and coming up next month, Beauty and the Beast. Do you think Disney should just leave it alone as an animated film? Why?
Do I think if Disney should leave it as animated or turn it into live action? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Beauty and the Beast. However, I have watched live action, Disney to live action before, such as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and they didn't do a very... I had high expectations, obviously. Who doesn't with Disney movies? And then the way they convert it, they don't stay true to the story because they want to make it a little different. So there was an element of disappointment. But I did like that it made it more real, I suppose, seeing a real live people. So the story kind of came to life a little bit. But the storyline, I was a little disappointed at. But who can recreate Disney better than Disney? Thank you.
That's so true. Sometimes it's too real. I don't know if you guys have seen The Jungle Book. Not really a kids' movie anymore. Well, a lot of animated films and cartoons teach us something. Inside Out, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen even. What's the best lesson that you learned from an animated film or cartoon? Preston.
best lesson that I've ever learned from an animated cartoon. The one that's coming to mind right now is probably Toy Story. Toy Story is the best animated film of all time, and I mean that as every single Toy Story film. It's not 3 films, they're all one. That's the way it is. These films can teach you a lot about how you deal with disappointment, how you deal with when you feel your situation has been usurped or defenestrated by another entity. That's how you deal with obsolescence. I'm sure a lot of people, probably older people in this company, might relate to that a little bit. You see it with jobs going away, becoming more automated. You see it with all of us here coming to eventually replace them. They're telling us that at a very young age, and it's not something you probably really think about when you're watching it when you're 7 years old. But it is real life issues. And I think another thing it tells you is about growing up. Eventually we are all going to be very different from how we were 5 years from now. I mean, I don't play with Legos anymore, only in secret. It's really, how do you deal with that kind of change? And I believe that Toy Story is the best lesson of an animated film.
Thank you. Very eloquently said. And I know someone who their top 3 animated films are Toy Story 1, 2, and 3.
Oh.
But I guess it's all one film, as you stated. It's a very good movie. Last question. Big battle between 2 networks. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon? Which side are you on, Brian?
Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. I remember as a kid watching both channels, probably too much, while I was eating food. And Cartoon Network always played the classics. So they played Wile E. Coyote chasing the Roadrunner. They played Sylvester the Cat, and Tweety Bird chasing after each other. So a lot of the classics, which I really enjoyed. I like the old Justice League shows and all those little superhero things that they've turned into movies now. But Nickelodeon, when I was a kid, Nickelodeon was everything. Nickelodeon had both cartoons and live action shows with all that, and Legends of the Hidden Temple. So kind of away from those cartoons, they had both, which was fun because you got to see kids interact. They're really calling that time in the 90s the golden age of cartoons, of children's television, because of Nickelodeon. So I'd have to go with Nickelodeon.
I mean, and most notably, Doug and Football Head, right? Let's not forget those. And they even have their own award show. Hey Arnold. Martin has no clue what any of us are talking about, just so you know. Well, there's a lot of binge watching that you can do on Saturday mornings if you have time, Martin, to catch up with the rest of us in the room. But cartoons have played a huge role in all of our lives. And with that, I'll hand it back over. I'll defenestrate it to Rebecca.